We could do that at the start of each one. You've got to go.
Yeah, tonight. And like put some cheesy 80s. Wow.
Was it Gladiators? We had Wolf.
Yeah. Oh, we should do it, Al.
Shadow.
I'll be lightning.
She's good at that.
Stan will be arrested.
Arrested. So episode 50, and we've reached the half century.
Half century.
It's good going, isn't it?
Are we rolling now?
We're always rolling.
Ooh.
So what you've just said will go out.
Well, not necessarily. You might cut it for you
Yeah,
if you don't like it.
Yeah.
So,
like Stan's installer stuff, we'll cut all that.
No, we won't.
We'll snip it and then send it to you on the slide. You can get. So look how I plugged you on Trade Legends.
Yeah.
So who have we got? Do you want to introduce yourself? We'll go with ladies first. I'll be a gentleman.
Okay, so I'm Denise.
Yeah.
I'm a plasterer.
Yeah.
And from Birmingham.
And what's your name on social media?
So I'm politely plastered.
Politely plastered.
Yeah.
Are you polite when you plaster?
Yes.
And Stan, you're a plumber by trade. Try to be a plumber. And
2 hours a day plumber.
What's your social media handles for anybody listening or watching?
At SNL Plumbing.
SNL Plumbing?
On everything.
Okay, I like it.
Do you not have Saturday Night Live coming for you?
That's why I did it.
Really?
Yeah. Legit, that's why I did it. So
Oh my God.
I take it 4 or 5 years later, they still haven't come for you.
No. Wait till I get bigger numbers.
Yeah.
We'll ask him about that story. So should we start with you, Denise, first?
Okay.
And
So I went to college, university. I studied criminology.
Criminology?
Yeah, I was obsessed with crimes and stuff, but not doing them.
Stands off.
Not doing them.
So criminology.
Yeah.
You go from school. You go to college to study.
Yeah.
Criminology.
Yeah. So I did at college. I did psychology, law, drama and theatre. I don't know why. I'm not a drama queen or anything. And then after that I went to uni, did criminology. I finished uni when it was a recession, so there was
2008.
so there was no jobs out there, but I just kept trying. And then I finally got my first job, and I was just happy. That was working with domestic violence victims. So like, I feel like I've worked in...
Was that locally? Because did you go to uni locally as well?
Yeah. So I started off there, and then I moved to America when I was about 25 or 26.
Okay.
And I became a Hooters girl.
Did you?
Yes.
Do you know what? This is why I love this programme, because it's it is just so wild.
Yeah.
So we can dig right in on this now, can't we?
Yeah.
Is this why you're quite confident? Because I'd presume you in that role.
Wow. All right. So I went from like working with domestic violence victims, then I worked in like prison and probation sector. Then went to America.
Why did you leave to get out of that? Is it just not fulfilling whatever you wanted it to fulfill?
I was fine. It's a very negative environment.
Right.
I'm really positive. But so I felt like that was quite a good balance, really, because it didn't, it does impact you, but like I could leave it at work. Yeah.
Switch it off, yeah.
Obviously, if something horrific happened, then obviously, you have to have a bit of counselling or whatever. But when I moved to America, it was just kind of, I had 3 months where I couldn't work. So
and whereabouts in America did you
in New Orleans.
New Orleans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, man.
So I wasn't working for 3 months. I was just kind of exploring, sitting by the pool. That kind of wore off. I started watching loads of Netflix series and stuff like that.
That's when Dexter took on.
Yeah. And then I kind of didn't know what to do. And we used to go to Hooters, and I just thought, well, I'll get a job here. And it was great. I loved it. It was like normal people. Like, it was not a negative environment. It was great. And then I stayed there. I did look into like kind of working in the justice system over there, but it was like the pay weren't very good. Yeah. So I was used to my Hooter girl wage.
Yeah. That's a lot better than what?
Yeah, so like you don't get paid. You just get your tips and that's it, yeah.
It's very like the sort of hospitality sector over there. I mean,
Yeah.
now
It
they want you
works on
to,
tips.
well, they just want you to, if you don't, say if somebody brings you a coffee,
Yeah.
want a 20% tip
Yeah.
in the US.
And they'll chase you out of the door as well, won't they, if you won't pay.
It's mental.
It's like...
If I'm going to Hooters, they can chase me.
Catch me.
But then,
You got me!
do you know what? I feel like when, like over there, Hooters is like family orientated.
It's not
like,
frowned upon.
No,
went to
it's
America
not.
last year.
There's like here.
Don't tell me you worked at Hooters.
No, I'm Hooters. Best place for food, without a
Because
doubt.
they did have one in Nottingham, I think.
Yeah,
Still
well,
there. Went there last year.
Well, this is the thing. When I was at my Hooters, which was in Metairie, which is just on the outskirts of New Orleans, I actually come across some English guys, which we avoid English people because they don't tip when we're over there. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't know, do you?
Bastards.
Yeah, but because we don't know too. But anyway, I was chatting to these guys, and there was like, yeah, there's one in Nottingham, and I was like, really? But there was like, you just wouldn't take your family there, or you wouldn't take your girlfriend there. It was like a lads thing. Whereas in America,
Like a stag do place,
I
yeah.
took 2 of my kids.
Oh, did ya? Oh, Christ.
Oh, we'll get on
You're
your
a
Wrong gun, Mr. Grinch.
But over there, it's really family.
Right.
And so, yeah, so I was there and I loved it.
They're more sports
So
bars,
how-
aren't they, than anything?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
how?
I bet it's good fun, isn't it,
Yeah,
working
it's
there?
great,
So
yeah.
I know you go into Hooters, but how do you then think, well, I'm going to get a job here? Like what sort of?
Oh.
Did you just say?
Yeah, let's address the elephant in the room now.
Because I'm always interested, because I think sometimes you do stuff and then you don't actually ever look back over it and think, well, why did I do that?
I don't know. I think
Because you've
Yeah.
moved on, your life's moved on, and it's
Yeah.
not until probably
Yeah.
you're 80
That you
think,
reflect back.
hold on a minute.
do you know what? I really love my time there. And I mean, I was, because obviously, like, people think, oh, yeah, you're not covered up much, but it's literally a vest top. Yeah, you're wearing hot pants, but the tights that you wear, which are like skin-coloured tights, are so thick, it's like wearing leggings.
So what's so psychologically you think you've just got leggings on
yeah,
anyway?
so we felt very, very covered up.
Right.
They're like, it's nice. It was not, the people was nice. We get lots of regulars and stuff, and like I say, I really enjoyed it. And I ended up like, I had 2 little boys over there, so I was actually pregnant for 2
Right.
years.
Did you meet an American guy?
So I was with him before we went over together.
Okay.
And then so people thought I was like a fucking elephant because they saw me pregnant, and then they'd come back like 9 months later and pregnant again, and they were like, have you not had the baby yet? And I was like, yeah, I'm
fucking
it's my second
elephant.
one. They're like pregnant for 2 years, aren't they? That's
Yeah.
like me. And I was like, yeah, I've had that one, I'm just pregnant with the other one now. So because I literally had them back to back.
Okay.
That was that. Got homesick after I had the kids, so I come back.
Because that was one thing I was going to touch on, because obviously it's very different for ladies in trades.
Yeah.
Is if you say if you start a trade very early and your business starts to grow, like the pressure for a lady if you do want to have kids is, well, actually I've got to stop work.
Yeah, which
You know.
I'm not. I mean, the only thing that I would say with that is, after like obviously I got back here, I very much did a job that was basically worked around the kids. It was a desk job, again in the justice system, but I was bored as fuck.
Right.
I hated it. I was fine for all my days off, and then on the days when I was going, I literally used to ring friends and family. I'd be like, I'm on the way there, I hate it, I just don't want to go. And I'm not like that. I'm not like, do you know what I mean? Like moody about stuff, and that really got me down.
Yeah. I mean, if you're working in an environment like in the US and you've got like a good team of people that you work with and you know people and they're in there on a regular basis and you've got that relationship, it's very different then to come back and you've got to...
Yeah. I was doing
you
something.
couldn't get much more polar opposites than working at Hooters, where I bet it's a laugh and everything, to then go
down to earth, and then working in an office just bored out my brains basically. And then that's what took me to get into a trade, because I'm very much one of them, if I start moaning about something, I'm like, just do something about it. Like, I'm not going to live like this. I was literally sat in my kitchen and I was like, what can I do? And then I thought, I'm going to tile. And then I got onto a tiling course, which was a Warsaw construction centre. They were brilliant. Honestly, it's run by 3 guys. There's Craig, Kev, and John.
And what do they do there? Because this is another thing on the show, is we always find that there's less and less people either going to college or becoming apprentices now. So if it's a decent college, what's the type of stuff
they run like courses there basically. They do other stuff for like younger people, but they run adult courses, and that's what I did. Got into the tiling, absolutely loved it. And they were like, is this what you want to do? And I was like, yeah, it is what I want to do. And they were like, you need to get 2 trades behind you. And I was like, well, I'm just learning this one.
Yeah.
But I loved it. And then I did a bit of tiling after, like, I'd done a few bathrooms and stuff. It took me absolutely fucking ages. Honestly, I swear, I started on my mates and I was like, do you want me to do your bathroom for free just so I can have a practice?
Yeah.
I swear, I must have moved in with fucking 6 weeks.
It is. Tiling's just so finicky.
Honestly. And then them at the college was like, why don't you try plastering? And I was like, oh no, look at the fucking state of them. I was like, I ain't getting dirty like that. And then guess what? I do the fucking course and never put a trowel down since.
Really?
And I've never tiled since.
It's interesting they told you that you got to get 2 trades.
Yeah, well, the way he was looking at it is, he was like, you can make more money from it. So like you can take on that job, so you can take on the plastering job and then do the tiling after, which is great.
To be fair, you know that the walls are going to be...
Exactly.
Yeah, my tiler goes fucking mental if plasterer's not got it perfect.
And you take that away from that then. You can't blame yourself. Well, you can blame yourself. You'd have to blame yourself, wouldn't you? But that was the kind of the logic behind it. So I started plastering. After I'd done that, loved it. I was just obsessed with it.
That's quite strange because your first impression of it was like you get covered in crap and straight away, I love it.
I was exactly the same.
Yeah.
And
then I was like, I kind of went home and I was like, I need to practice. So I was like practicing whenever I could. And then I was like, I need to get myself out. And I stumbled across a general builder, I think he was. And he was really lovely. His name's Daniel. And he was like, I think I just phoned him up and I was like, have you got any jobs? I was like, I can do a bit of plastering or whatever. Yeah. And he was just like, no, he's like, I haven't. He's like, but I do know somebody. So he put me in contact with Broughton's, which is a big plastering contractors. And Joe, the director CEO, is there a difference between that? But he's both, I think he's both of them, whatever. He spoke with me and I feel like he's the one that gave me a chance.
Right, okay.
So love him to bits.
So it's all down Joe. Shout out to Joe.
Yeah, shout out to Joe Broughton.
So how long were you at the college for learning as well?
That was just like short courses. So
okay.
After that, it's up to you. So you have to do all your practicing, and that's where I think the difficult part is, it's getting someone to teach you. Yeah. And I see that on the forums all the time, like, oh, I've done this or I can do this, but you need that everyday kind of doing it, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Which is what I got at Broughton's, because they put me on site.
Yeah, threw you into the deep end when there you go, just crack on.
But it was great because, imagine, I've got 2 young boys. So I do school drop-offs, I do school pickups, like I'm a single mom. I have to do everything. Yeah. I didn't have any help. Like, my mum helps me. She's been brilliant. But, you know, it's basically down to me, isn't it? So I'd explained all of this and he used to let me start. He's like, don't worry. He was like, because I'm thinking I'm up against men that just get up and get themselves ready and have no, like...
Selfishly just...
I'll be honest, a lot of people can't get out of bed.
Exactly.
That doesn't matter, male or female.
That felt like a bit of a dig there.
And but he was brilliant about that, really supportive. And then I did my time on site. There was a couple of guys there as well that I feel like took me under the wing, Sean and John. And like, I literally went there with a hawk and a trowel. And then they've showed me like speed skims, flexi trowels, and that's where I got to like practice with all of that.
Because I saw you do some rendering as well.
Yeah, so I do that.
Yeah, I spotted that. That's quite... Usually you're either a plasterer or you do rendering. I find it, you don't get a lot that will do both.
Yeah, well, that's because I've ended up teaming up with a guy called Gaz. He's brilliant. Love him too. Love everyone.
Name dropping like Rob and Gav when they were on. Just names for fun.
And then, like, after I'd done the site work, that's when I decided to do domestics.
So how long had you been doing site work for?
God, I don't even know.
And how long is this after you've come back, just to give people perspective? So you've gone and done the short courses, and then you've gone and done the site work, and then you're... I
would say from kind of doing the training to doing, like... Basically doing when I did the domestics, that was setting up my own business. That was when Politely Plastered was created. I would say all of that was probably a year and a half, 2 years.
Because this is another thing, is a lot of people sit and watch this, and especially if they're a bit older, they think, I can't go and retrain.
Yeah.
You know, like certain trades, obviously, I think plumbing's 4 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's a long period of time, but then they don't realise maybe on the flip side, not saying everybody can do it in the same time as you, but there are other things you can go and do.
Exactly, yeah. And it's like, if you talk to other plasterers, I know that I'm like really fresh to it still. Like I am fresh. Obviously, like I work with Gary, he's been like plastering for 40 years. So if we ever come across anything, we've got him there. Do you know what I mean? So, well, I've got him there.
So is there any trade element within any of your family?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing, no.
See, that's mad. Usually there's that little bit, isn't there?
Like, I didn't mention anything. Like, when I was even working at Broughton's and stuff, I didn't mention it to anybody, because what I didn't want someone to do is say, oh, Dee.
Like negative for you?
Yeah, I didn't want any of that, but I didn't want someone to go, oh, can you do this for me? And I was just like, well, I don't know how to do that. So I waited till I was like confident enough to like at least do a wall or something. Do you know what I mean? And then even every day, I just feel like I'm progressing.
I mean, what did people say when you said, oh,
they were just like, because
did they find it weird?
The first time that any of my friends, my mum knew, but the first time that any of my friends
your mum knew, it's like this secret. My mum knew.
Yeah, my mum knew. So she knew, and the first thing that anybody heard of was when I set up Politely Plastered. I literally didn't say a word, and then I was like, Politely Plastered, and people were ringing me up and they were like, what the hell? I was like, I've been doing it for ages.
Brilliant.
But it was just one of them. I just, that was...
Did you not want to tell people for people to comment and then try and put you off doing?
Yeah, and then, you know, when like you get I'm just not one of them that I'm like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I just wait till I've done it and I'll say, I've done it. And
you don't want to set yourself up to fail.
No.
You want to be able to smash it and then go, I can do that.
I've done it, yeah. And then I feel like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, I do feel like when I first set up, I didn't know what I was doing, like business-wise.
Yeah, no one does, you know, it's all self-taught, really.
It was business-wise. And I remember, like, the push that I got was, I'm going to name drop again, was Harry. He runs Rooster Properties. He's local to me. And he was just like, oh, you're plasterer? I'm always looking for good plasterers. And I said, oh, yeah. I was like, well, you know, let me know. And then he was like, well, have you got a business card? Have you got a logo? Have you got this? I was like, no. I was like, I haven't got any of that. And he kind of just sat down with me for a little bit and he was like, well, get a logo, get this, get that.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's what you want.
And then he's like, so I've got a job for you, do. And I was like, okay. And he was like, can you invoice me? I was like,
yeah.
I was like, how do I do that? And then he was like,
give me cash. Stand those.
And then he invoiced him. Obviously, like, this is the very beginning of my business. He was my first customer, first invoice, and
the problem is as well is if you don't know what somebody's talking about, you're very like reluctant to
say.
Yeah.
But I felt really comfortable asking him, and he helped me. And then, like I say, all these people on the way, like, I'd go to price jobs and I didn't know how much. So I'd ring people up, like the two guys that I felt like took me under the wing. I've had this job come in. What, like, how much shall I charge for it? And they'd be like, right, yeah, you do this, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, I feel like everybody's been very supportive. I've not had anything really negative, and if I have, I've not known about it.
Ladies and gents, just a quick one to say a huge thank you to our new headline sponsor, CT1, the best sealants on the market, voted for by the British public. Not only that, it's made in Britain as well, so go and support a product and a brand that is made in the UK. But I just want to say to you, they've got a brand new product out, which is the BT1. It's a combination sealant and adhesive like the popular CT1, but it's perfect for keeping a hygienic environment. And it's designed to completely stop the growth of bacteria, microbes, and fungus. And not only that, this stuff is strong. Now, it's going to be available at Travis Perkins, Wickes, Jewson's, and pretty much everywhere else, so there's no excuse not to go and give it a go. So we're really happy to be partnering with CT1.
And then, like you said earlier, I started my Instagram pretty much when I started the business. And I post stuff on there. I feel like Instagram's quite positive. Massively. I've not had any negativity on that at all.
You've been on TikTok?
I was on TikTok and right fucking back off it.
Yeah, straight away.
First thing I posted on TikTok, it was like, whatever, and I was like, fuck off.
Yeah.
So I've posted it.
Darcy Rattle Kings was the worst. Like the misogyny on there. It was like, make me a sandwich, bitch. It was just
horrific. Honestly, like I said to you, I've said from day one. We've even looked. He's half asleep, but he ain't listening.
But we'll do one day. We'll do the
it.
comments.
I've always said so. My main platform is YouTube. Instagram, I think, is really positive. I love Instagram. The community around it. TikTok and Facebook are horrific.
Hate Facebook.
It's just for me. My view is I want to have loads of people following me. I'll do TikTok and Facebook because it looks like you've got loads of followers instantly.
Yeah.
And the comments are just savage.
Honestly, I mean, the first time I posted on there, first comment was negative. I was like, oh my God, I'm taking it down. It's not, I was like, I don't like it. I didn't
it's
like
not nice.
it.
I think
and
they're very negative.
Yeah, and that's not for me because I'm not that type of person. I would never go out of my way, no matter what you see online.
Just scroll past it.
Exactly. If you don't like something, scroll past it. I couldn't imagine going out of my way and writing something negative.
Watching something, thinking something negative, then go, right, I'm going to comment on that.
Yeah, just something like horrific. Like, I just don't get it, but TikTok's not for me.
You might as well just have the ball.
Oh, well,
Classic.
Got a straw. We get a straw now. Yeah, so Stan, plumber, extraordinaire.
Take us back, mate.
Went through school, didn't do very well, typical. But my old man's a plumber, so I just jumped straight on an apprenticeship with him. Tried to get in with other people. My old man thought it'd be easy. I thought it'd be easy. Turns out it weren't. So I started with my dad. Did that for 4, 5, 6 years, something like that. Yeah. Learned everything I know from him, but mainly waste work. It's the sort of stuff that I really enjoy. Yeah. It's just not a lot of people understand waste and like letting air in and letting the water out, that side of it. But I enjoy that. Then I decided to do something else. I worked for Virgin Media for a year. Decided the money was no good, and the hours are too long.
I was just going to say, what sort of hours are you doing, Stan?
6 in the morning till 5 at night.
Not for you, that.
No.
The only decent thing was cheap broadband.
Yeah.
Dial up he had as well.
No, and then then I went back to working for my old man.
What made you just
didn't want to do it anymore? Just thought, no, I'm done. Don't want to work for my dad. Don't want to go on my own. Yeah. Don't want all that hassle.
I can actually envisage because after working with my old man for a bit,
So my dad employed a few people, and I was always, when I was the apprentice, and but you get paid loads of money. You got the easy life. I was like, I'm the one that has to get up at 4 a.m. on a Sunday morning because there's been a call out. You lot don't get that. Yeah. I'm the one. I'm actually paid less than anyone else. Like they don't see any of that side of it. And when we do get home, because I was still living at home at the time, they don't see him asking me questions. What did we do today? How much do I invoice for this? Like all that side.
Yeah, you haven't just turned off, have you?
Yeah, because if you run your own business, you don't.
No.
So I'm constantly getting questions about it. Never at any free time. I remember I was still working for my old man, and me and my family, we went away on holiday every day. You know that job we did last week? Dad, I'm in Spain.
Yeah. You wouldn't ring one of the other lads up.
Yeah.
No. But people don't see that side of it at all. So then I started working at Broomfield Hospital as a healthcare assistant. Right. We went back to plumbing and left it again.
I would not trust him with my house.
No, actually.
Jesus Christ.
No, I actually really enjoyed it. I worked on a plastic surgery ward.
You might have enjoyed it.
Legit.
Did you actually work on a plastic surgery?
Yeah, plastic surgery for burns and stuff like that. It was number one in the country.
I thought you were going to say something else. Bums. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, did that for a year and a half.
Is this where like the perv developed?
No, that's always been.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just can't, like, sometimes when we pair people and you get like two real random, like, you've done Hooters and he's worked in a plastic surgery ward. Like, what on earth?
No, I actually really enjoyed that job because there was a lot of old people on there and they just wanted someone to talk
Fingerless
to.
old people.
No, they just wanted someone to talk to, and that's, I like talking to people.
So random though, Stan. Virgin Media. Back to
Plastic
plumbing,
surgery.
plastic surgery.
Yeah, and then I left that because I had a massive argument with one of the senior doctors. I'm not going to go into that, but so I went back to plumbing with my old man. Did that for another year and a half, something like that.
One thing I'm going to ask you about is, what did your old man say when you said, I'm going to go and work here? Did you get any comments off him?
Yeah, go on, do it. Like, he encouraged everything. Just, go on, do it. He always knew I'd come back to plumbing. I think it's something I've done since I was 11 or 12. Like, I could solder from 11, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Can't solder anymore. It's like
Press
pressing, isn't it? Makes you lazy. But what was it? Yeah. So I was doing that for my old man for about a year and a half again, and then I said, right, I'm going to start doing stuff on my own. So my dad was like, well, why don't you start doing your own stuff Saturday and Sundays? I was like, yeah, sure. So I'm going out every Saturday, every Sunday, doing my own stuff, and then I'm like,
So what, without your dad?
Yeah.
Like, just completely on your own?
And then I was like, Dad, I need 3 days this week, so I don't want to work Friday.
Slowly building up that.
Yeah, and then it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now I'm doing all the hours under the sun, which we all know I don't like. But,
God, no.
Yeah, doing all the hours under the sun, and I was like, no, something's got to give. And I'm not gonna. I want to see my kids because I come home from work one day and my daughter could walk or talk.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, she's still a baby, like with a bottle.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Where's it gone?
How many kids have you got?
3.
3.
A girl, boy, girl. And then what was it? Yeah, come home. My daughter could do something, whatever. And then when I saw my dad the next day in the pub, and I was just like, right, something's got to give. I've missed too much of her life. I want to be there for her. So then I'm doing Monday to Friday. That's it. Yeah. Don't want to work with you anymore. Monday, he went, okay, but the work's always there if you need it. I was like, sweet. Like that. And that was a massive godsend. I was worried during, when COVID first started.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I don't know what's going to go on here. Am I allowed to work? And so I'm throwing my dad. I was like, Dad, what do I do? And he just went, don't spend any money. Literally save as much as you can. Because I was just coming up to finishing a bathroom.
Right.
So finished the bathroom. He's just gone, save as much, eat cheap, do this, do that. But then the second COVID hit, everyone shut down. So everyone's at home, aren't they? Yeah. Flushing their toilets 40 times a day instead of 10 times a day. Kids are throwing stuff down toilets. Yeah. So I just changed from the plumbing that I was doing to reactive plumbing. Yeah. Never went back to what I was doing before. Just stayed as a reactive.
So COVID changed.
Yeah, changed the way I work.
COVID changed a lot of people's models. Changed yours, didn't it, Al? Changed. I assume it changed yours. And like you said, I know coming through the COVID time, and I could see how that would work because for us, them 2 or 3 years went mental.
Yeah. I'd never, in the first 6 months of COVID, I don't think I'd ever earned as much as I did then. Yeah. And it was, like, I was eating out of butchers. Yeah. I'd never done that before.
Your dad's saying cut back and you're like,
where's the fillet, baby?
I'm going to Hooters.
Give me that money, make it rain.
But it was crazy few years. And it's hard because people are either on their arse or flying.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely flying.
I noticed that in my area, it was either getting all the work or none of the work.
Yeah.
And I was one of the lucky ones. Yeah. My dad's business actually slowed right down. It was strange, but something he taught me was never bite the hand that feeds you. So I had some of his customers phoning me and stuff. I'm like, no. Speak to my old man. That's nothing to do with me. Like, he would take the work and then just give it to me and send me.
But it goes through him.
It's got to go through him.
Yeah.
It's just the way we was taught, the way we was brought up.
So you change your whole sort of business overview to be reactive.
Yeah. But rather be reactive than
And that's
plan.
what you are now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I pulled away from the bathrooms because they're just...
You don't like them?
I hate them now.
See, I enjoy them.
Because you're relying on too many different people. And you only need one person to push the job behind 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we had a plasterer once.
It weren't me.
Just completely.
It's all about the planning. You've got to have a team.
You know,
like clockwork.
He had one, and then all of a sudden he had a massive problem with his wife, and then just didn't answer the phone.
Yeah.
He was booked in for the next day, phoning him, "Where are you?" Yeah. Nothing, no answers.
That is a massive problem in China.
Yeah.
It is, and I
like
think as well when you find that. From what I've heard from customers, tradies are letdowns. They, do you know what I mean? Like overall, they're letdowns. They don't get back to you. They'll come and see a job. They don't get back to you.
The flip side to that though is, and I get this, is people have a life. They have a personal life.
Yeah.
But obviously, if people don't talk and say, "Well, I've got this going on. This is the reason," do you mind?
Yeah.
Then that's where the bad rep comes from.
But I just feel like no matter what, just communicate.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say. You build that relationship. So say I'm going into a house to do a bathroom over 2 weeks. Build that rapport for the first couple of hours with that customer. Keep them in the loop. If something's going to be a little bit late, then let them know.
Yeah.
And never, what's the one? Never over
promise, under deliver.
That's the one.
Nathan Briggs.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Mr. Summers over there.
Is he always doing it? Yeah, always go. It's going to take 2 weeks. If you get it done earlier, you're always good. If you go over,
So I never give a timescale.
Do you not?
Never give a timescale. ever. But I price.
can't with working
because he's on a day rate.
It could take
14
a week.
months.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
You get a good job at the end of it.
How long's a piece of string, mate?
No, the reason I stopped, I used to give timescales, and then people would go, well, it only took you 4 hours, so can we have a cheaper price? I'm like,
Oh, Christ.
no. Just don't punish me for being efficient at my work.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not paying for the time I've been here, you're paying for the years I've learned to do it that quick.
So I'll just say it will take less than a day. Do you know what I mean? Like, never give specifics, ever.
Are you wasting time? I think that some of you probably are, and I have a solution for you. Nobody wants to do any type of admin. Now, I have a solution for you, and it is called Tradify. It's a fully automated job scheduling, invoicing, and quoting all in one place. Now, that software is going to save you 12 hours a week, and all by using a simple software solution. Now, you can try it for 2 weeks, absolutely free, no cards needed, and you'll even get support in person from Tradify themselves. Now, when you're done, you can always come back to me and thank me, but just enjoy the extra 12 hours that you're going to gain from just using the software.
It's funny listening to how different people work their whole business ethos.
Well, this is the whole point of having people on, is that they drop nuggets of information. So if people were clever and they're listening to these or watching them, they can take bits from everybody and make something that works for them.
I'm always open to stuff. If I work with different people and they know different, everybody plasters different, and I love to see it.
But the end result is always a good job.
But you find there's a lot of, and it is like the older ones where they just can't accept that there's different things out there. And it's like you see I can't stand those plastering forums. I feel like the most horriblest plasterers go on there just to fucking be nasty to people. I can't deal with it. They're
probably the ones whose work's the shittest.
Yeah. Well, probably. Yeah. But there was a young lad on there, and he said, he blatantly said, I'm 6 months. He said, I'm just practicing. This is what I've done. His whole post got absolutely slaughtered. Yeah. And I thought, he's done a good job.
Facebook?
No, it was Facebook,
Facebook's savage.
And I just thought to myself, he's blatantly just said he's 6 months into it. So what do you expect?
Give him some guidance, don't slate him.
And I just thought that is so mean. And I just thought, I'm not getting involved because I don't, but I just think what horrible negative people you are.
It's the social media.
That's
you
know what I mean? That's another reason why people don't go into the trade, especially young people. You imagine getting every time you post something, you just want a bit of advice, you're getting a bit.
Yeah. And that's why I think Instagram is quite good at that. They'll go, oh, don't do it like that, try it this way.
Yeah. So I've posted some stuff and people have, instead of commenting on it, they'll DM you about it and just go, see that where you did this?
Yes, yeah.
Try doing it like that.
And aren't they nice? It's nice to get, I really appreciate that, I love it.
Yeah. There is a lot of, you pick the right platform, I think.
Yeah.
YouTube, I find brilliant, Instagram brilliant, the others for me. No, but
I have people that, like this one guy, he used the beads to go around the plug sockets. Yeah. And honestly, he made it look flawless. And I was like, I've never seen them, I've never heard of them, I've never used them. So I contacted him and I was just like, oh, it looks amazing. And straight away, he sent me the page where to get them from. And I thought, that's nice. Yeah. So there's something that I will purchase because I think they make the work look nice. I think it's worth
with social media now, people are trying to help people out more.
Yeah.
Years ago, you used to go into the plumbing merchants. I remember when I first started, you'd say to the old, but you got much work? Yeah, I've got loads. You'd never want to, are you running out of work? I'll push some your way.
Yeah.
Everyone used to keep it to themselves, even if they're on their arse. Got loads, mate. Whereas now it's, I'm short of this week. I've got 2 days quiet stand. I've got any work? Yes, mate. Here you go. Come in.
So when I first started social media, I was like, why do you want to tell people your little tricks and all that? Because now you're helping other people out. I'm like, you're not going to steal my work. The people that are coming to me want me, so it's easy. Yeah. But he was like, no, I don't understand it. Why?
But that's the generation, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that was just it. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Don't tell them that little hack or whatever.
Yeah, it's like that guy posting that. I'm not going to take his clients because I go and buy some of them beads. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Plus, you're confident enough in your work to put your stuff out there. I've got loads of work. I've got a good customer base. Yeah. I can share what I do.
Yeah.
It's all about getting that more knowledge out there for you to better you to better you.
And on mine, I put supporting and inspiring people because, like I say, I am older getting into it. I think I started out all this when I was 34. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is like quite old to start a new career, especially something physical.
Yeah.
So I just think like it's the best thing I've ever done. So if there's anyone out there thinking about it, you know, maybe they might come across my post and.
It's a good Jerry Springer final thought. That.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beat us to it.
Yeah. Come in two-footed straight away.
Sorry.
Well, should we go to that bit?
Yeah.
Because normally around about this time as well, obviously you've given us the backstory. What we try and do is get you to drop out either a nugget of knowledge, something where you're trying to inspire somebody. Just basically any, like, if you've got any advice for anybody or anything like that, like this is your
platform.
2-3 minutes to sort of shout about it.
I remember when I said to my mum, I'm unhappy at that job. I said, I'm going to hand my notice in. She goes, no, we're going into recession. What if you're going to recession? What about the mortgage, the kids, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I can see from a mum's point of view.
Yeah, security thing.
And from mine as well, because I've got 2 little boys that are fully dependent on me.
I find that little phrase is the bit that stops you from doing something because it puts the doubt in you.
Yeah, and it does. And honestly, but I'd done it. I handed my notice in and I phoned my mum and said, I've handed my notice in. She goes, all good.
Really?
Yeah, she goes, all good. She said, I didn't want to say it, she said, because I'm just scared. And I said to her...
But that's the mothering instinct, isn't it?
And I had that because I've got these 2 little boys that are 100% dependent on me.
Yeah.
I've got a mortgage. You know, I'm all they've got. I've got to keep this roof over the head. I've got to keep everything going.
Yeah.
And
how did you feel that night or the following few days after doing that?
I felt good, honestly. I felt good from the day I've done it.
Yeah,
I feel good.
Just the way you're smiling about now, talking about it.
Yeah, no, I do. I feel good, like, even looking at where I am now and actually making that leap. Because if you'd have asked me, say, 2-3 years ago, if you'd have even asked me 2-3 years ago, do you want your own business? I would have been like, no, don't want the responsibility, don't want this, don't want that. And yet now, look, I've done it, I'm doing it, and I love it. But I would
massively
never.
proud. I can say you're massively proud of what you've done.
I'd never think that I would have done it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
So what about you then, Stan? What's your final thought?
Words of wisdom.
If you want it, go get it.
Right, okay, right, we're done then.
If you want it, go get it. Get in the DMs.
Legit, I don't know. Because I've just muddled through all of it. I've been
Is that
really
how you
lucky.
feel? Do you feel like you've just...
But everybody's like that with themselves. They sit there and they think, I don't even know.
Have you had a plan for the last 2 or 3? No.
No, just...
You haven't gone, I want this at this point?
No, I'm quite content.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I
feel like
Do you know what? That's not a bad... It's not bad. You're happy.
I don't care about flashy cars. I don't care about like big holidays and all that sort of stuff. That's
as long as you got the kids are happy.
As long as the kids are sorted, nothing else really matters for me.
I do think as well, like, you know, the main thing is, you know, your health, isn't it? Like, it's having your health and your kids there and stuff. It's a different kind of rich. That's what I say.
We'll wrap it up there.
Then.
Okay.
Thank you very well. Thank you very much for coming on, Stan. Thank you very much, Dee.
Thanks for having
me. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been a good one.